Welcome back, friends and loved ones. It's me, Stu, your host, Action Figure Now, bringing you another action figure review. This time it's DC Direct by way of Mcfarlane Toys. It's the Damian Wayne Robin from Batman and Robin #1. Back in 2009, can't believe it's 15 years since that issue dropped. Damian Wayne's first appearance as Batman in 2006, back in 655, the issue. And of course, as we're talking about Batman and Robin #1, there it is, the issue that this comes with. Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly bringing us that, just like they brought us so many great issues of new X-Men in the early 2000s. Really, it's kind of what they do. They take concepts that we're familiar with and put a brand new spin on them for a brand new audience and a brand new time. Justin, my buddy, good bestest friend in the whole wide world, and co-host here on the channel, picked this one up for me while he was out making the rounds. Picked this one up at the GameStop. $25 there. Is it worth it? Well, we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about how close it is to the source material that it comes with as we bust this guy open right here on Action Figure Now. Here, young Damian Wayne out of the package on display and looking pretty good. I gotta say, it is fairly accurate to the source material, especially the face there. That is absolutely a Frank Quietly sculpt right there. That looks just like the source material, like from Batman and Robin #1. Of course, that's the issue that it comes with. Fantastic looking figure. I got to say, I'm excited to finally get this because we got the Dick Grayson version of Batman just, I really maybe a month ago is when it dropped in when we picked it up, and that was a really fantastic figure. And as simple as it was, I got to say, it's one of my favorite Batman figures that I've probably purchased in the last year and a half. Just something different, of course, love for Batman, and that will never change. But you do want something different after a while. And so, going down that rabbit hole of the different versions we could get, well, of course, you got the Dick Grayson Batman, and now Dick Grayson's Robin, who is Damian Wayne. And so, taking a look at the figure, looking really good, like I say. We've got the same basic articulation scheme that you're going to get with any Mcfarlane figure these days. You really know what you're getting into, and you know what you're signing up for there. But like I say, just a great head sculpt there for Damian there, and a pretty good range of motion for what it is. Not going to look down too far, but he is going to get around there. But just really good mask, like just nice sculpted there. You can see the detail and just how much it's lifted off of the face there. Definitely not just painted on. Really good looking. Just a smug little bastard. And I think that was the reason that I never really cared for Damian and still don't as Robin, But hey, they still have Tim Drake around. That was my Robin as I was coming of age, back in the early 90s. But he's got his little hood there that differentiates him from the other Robins, which won't quite go up over his head. I'm having a little bit of difficulty there, but that's all right. Don't want to force it too much. But that's a good look there. Good wired cape, so you can get some nice effects out of that. It's blowing in the wind. The one thing I did notice as as I was posing, and you're going to get this with the figures with the thinner limbs. The elbow's a little bit gummy there. The plastic just a little bit weaker than some you might have. So you take it easy there. But full range of motion there at the elbows. The gauntlets are completely separate pieces there. If you were to pop off the fists, you could totally take those off as well. Not too bad. The arms there looking good. Really great torso there. And so that's unique as well to this figure, matching up really well with the source material. It's got a pretty good range of motion. At least he can go back pretty far. I mean, he can do some bullet time experience. He can dodge. But by and large, the joint that's in there, the rotator, you're going to be able to rotate, but it's not going to really hold much of a pose because of the rubber there. But it's nice. It's a good effort. So, I mean, what are we really going to be doing with him? There's maybe a little bit of photography, posing it on the shelf, and having it sit there. So it's not going to do a whole lot. You don't really need it to do a whole lot. Of course, there is reuse here. The legs are pretty much repaints of the Infinite Frontier version that we got a couple years ago, which isn't bad. I mean, it's functional. He had basically boots at this point in time. They're like green combat boots with the red laces. So if they were a higher combat boot, I could go for that. I don't know. So $25 was the price point there, and for what you get a sword which he doesn't even carry around in that issue, and he wasn't exactly carrying swords right off the rip. And it's the same sword we got with Infinite Frontier as well, like I said. And then he's got the Professor Pig mask, which is kind of cool. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate this. It's a really cool accessory. Really hoping that we get a Professor Pig action figure. That was one of those characters that kind of came along in the Batman Reborn stories, like a new psycho, freaky character. Like to cut off people's faces, you know. And I believe he was the feller that cut off the Joker's face, if I'm not mistaken, in the New 52. I'll have to go, don't quote me on that. But again, $25, you get that in the comic book. Comic book is great, but I feel like there's room for a little more value in there. So hear me out. I enjoy this figure. I'm going to say, do you absolutely need it? You know, no, you don't absolutely need it. But it's going to fill a hole in your collection. It's going to fill a place on your shelf. You absolutely do want to have a Robin for every Batman. So I guess in that respect, sure, you air quotes need it. But if this is 25, what could you have done for $5 more? Make it one of your signature series. Make it one of the collector editions, right? Could we have gotten, a new set of legs that would have perfectly matched the comic? Because other than that, that's really the only thing that's outstanding as far as it doesn't quite hit the mark. So for $5 more, could we have gotten maybe another head sculpt, maybe some faceplate swaps like we get with Huntress, or maybe at least a couple other pairs of hands? I don't know. That would have been cool. I'd have paid $5 more for that. But again, the value is there. This is what action figures cost these days. Marvel's been charging, or Hasbro's been charging $25 for Marvel figures for over a year now, and we line up and we pay it when we feel the need to. Mcfarlane really just getting around to that with certain series. The Page Punchers here, $25. Could have a little bit more value, but at the end of the day, I'm digging what they've got. If you buy into the Mcfarlane action figure way of life, then you get it. You're going to enjoy it. If not, it's not really going to blow your skirt up, but it's a cool sculpt. It's a great likeness of Damian Wayne, and you got to have his Batman with him. So, of course, we bring in good old Dick Grayson, just hanging out with Damian. And see, I don't know why, but this this Batman this year has just, I don't know, there's something about it, like the sculpt, everything coming together. The cape works, the face, again, that is legitimately Frank Whiteley's artwork right there. Very well translated into 3 dimensions, and even down to the old bat knuckle dusters with the old electricity. I mean, that's really cool. That's an awesome figure. That's a great pairing. So maybe you do need this Robin. It's as close as we're going to get to absolutely matching the comic books anymore. So you know what? I say go for it. Enjoy it. And if you have enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and tell us what you think. It's Action Figure Now, and we love having you here with another toy review.